You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family. Well, hi, everybody. This is Glenn the Geek back with you, founder of the Horse Radio Network and host of Horses in the Morning, one of the longest running daily podcasts in the world for the last 14 years. And welcome to the WESA Retail Roundup. The Retail Roundup is your go-to virtual hub for all things retail. Join panel discussions, learn from webinars, share your thoughts, ask questions, and connect with your community. We host a virtual event or share educational content every Monday, like today, via the Retail Roundup Facebook group. If you're not part of that Facebook group, go over and search Retail Roundup on Facebook and you'll find it there. Now, in today's session, you'll be able to ask questions and make comments. You'll find the post a comment down there, down below us. You're going to find post a comment. I'll keep an eye on those. So we would love to hear your feedback. And if you have questions for the guests today, that would be great. Speaking of the guest, today we'll learn from the world's #1 authority on expert positioning, Debbie Allen. Debbie has turned her full-day workshop into an exclusive webinar for the Retail Roundup. Debbie Allen is a speaker and business consultant with experience with not only the WESA community, but also in building retail stores herself. It's time to learn more about standing out and racing past your competition. Hi, Debbie.
Hey there, wonderful to be here.
Good to
I just
have
thought I'd
you.
have a conversation with you guys today. And I love being back to WESA. And it's been many years. I used to come and speak at the events in Billings, Montana. So
Oh,
great
wow,
to
that
be
has
here.
been years.
Yes.
Yeah, that has been years. All right, I'll let you take it away, and I'll come back in at the end and probably have some questions for you.
Okay, great. Thanks, Glenn. Appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to find out how we can stand out and get noticed. Basically, we had a conversation about your organization, about things that you might be going through, and I know years of me being back in the retail industry, I'll tell you a little bit about that in a moment, but, things change. And I've always focused on marketing when things change, because if you're ahead on marketing, sales, you've been in the business a long time. You're used to having people come in your stores, if that's what you do, retail, or working with them and one-on-one, however you work with them. But we need to update everything online, because here's the thing is you're an expert at what you do in your business, but maybe not an expert in marketing. And that's why they brought me in to talk about this. So I've been an expert in marketing since I started my speaking career 25+ years ago. And I just love it. So what I'm going to be sharing with you is some ideas where you can actually implement right away and say, okay, my goal today is that you take away something where you can go, hey, I can implement that into my website, into my marketing, and that starts making sense, especially as we get into the Q&A session. So I'll go through the presentation, and if you have any questions, just write them in the chat box, and Glenn capture those later, or you can ask live when we're in the Q&A. So I'll run about maybe 45 minutes or so, and then keep it there. So you can write your questions down if you want to ask them at the end as well. Okay, so let's get into this. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make a powerful marketing impact, especially with your marketing online, focusing on that, and how to gain loyal, valuable customers. We don't have to be everything to everybody, but we need to have those loyal, the high value customers that get us, know us, keep coming back. And they're not going to go online after they find something in your store and find a deal at it. Like, they're going to say, this is my go-to place. And that's where I want you to be, because there's nothing like having that experience of that go-to place. We're never going to replace that. Some will survive in this economy and some won't, just because they haven't adapted to some of the marketing strategies. And I've seen that over decades, just speaking especially to retailers. And how to gain how to upscale your online marketing. So I'm going to talk to you about that, how to do that with video, how to do that with engagement online, social media. I'm not going to get into detail on too much of that, but I'm going to cover some of the things that you could do to say, oh, okay, this is something I can add to my marketing strategy. And then how to monetize, again, with video, your website, and social media. Now, I wish I could look at all of your websites right now and say, okay, move this, change this, whatever. But I won't really be able to do that today. But there's a way that I can do that, is to just give you some ideas today. And if you want me to look at your website and give you some feedback based on what I've said today, then just reach out to me later. Okay, so first of all, a little bit back about my background before I got into this business. I grew up with a school of hard knocks. That's the bus I took every day. It wasn't like going to get out of high school and then go into college. I didn't do that route. In fact, I wasn't a very good student in school, and the reason I tell you this is because I don't care where you're at. If you think technology wise, marketing, whatever, we can always learn something new. And I remember my English teacher telling me, if you don't pass this next test, you're not even going to graduate from high school. But I've written 10 books, so I guess I did okay. and so it gives everybody hope. And if you think you've got to improve some of the things you're doing right now. So got barely above, graduating high school. College was not even an option. I then went directly into the family business. That's how I learned business. So I bought into the family business when I was 19. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to do more than just a paycheck. I wanted to see a business grow. And I still have that same passion today, is watching your business grow, watching my clients' business grow, is that, how you can open up, especially if you're opening up a retail store. I know the amount of money it costs to just open up a store, hang up a shingle, do, your inventory and keep that all up. It's a lot of work doing it, but it's also very exciting. And I had many years doing that after leaving the family business. So why would I leave the family business? Well, I stayed there for about a decade in my 20s, learned a lot. Basically grew up in what I call kind of the armpit USA, Gary, Indiana. If anybody knows about that area, Northwest Indiana outside of Chicago, it really is kind of an armpit, really a tough area. And that's where we grew our family business, which was a car rental business. And I was tired of repossessing cars and dealing with this very stressful business. And we were one of the first businesses. Well, we were actually the very first in Northwest Indiana to start a mini storage business. So I knew what it was like to build a business and then sell it to a major company. So as an entrepreneur, there's two things you need to be thinking about: build to sell and build to magnify. So when I thought about that when I was opening up my first retail store, was, okay, I love this business. I don't know anything about retail when I bought my first store. In fact, the store I bought had lost money for 6 years. Not really a good business plan. But my goal was, okay, everybody had these dream stealers around me telling me I couldn't make it work. And that kind of motivated me to keep going instead of me thinking I couldn't do it. So over 15 years, I built and sold retail stores, retail women's clothing stores, all the way from Indiana all the way to Arizona, where I live now. And then after doing that a number of years, I wanted to give back in a different way. So I wanted, instead of opening stores and doing this, I wanted to help people be successful. So I went to a big show in Vegas and I said, I would love to do a seminar here. And that was way before I ever even did them. And I said, I would love to help, especially small retailers, to help them become successful so they don't become the Jurassic Park of our retail future and everything becomes this clone of corporates, right? And it's always been my passion and still my passion today. So why I'm so excited to be back here with you guys. So started out with a retail store, didn't know anything, but here's the key: got mentorship, got coaching with everything I've done, and even starting my speaking business when I didn't even know it was a business, got mentorship and learned from that, and coaching to get the business off the ground. And one of the most exciting, memorable moments, I would say, in the retail speaking world for me was when I spoke in India at the Retail Franchise Association and gave out the awards and did a keynote. One of the most memorable, but many times had some memorable experiences, especially speaking, internationally for retail associations. Okay, so that's kind of my background. Just let you know, I've been in the business a long time, but really I'm a marketing expert that's going to show you some different ways to make a powerful impact. So that's point number one. Is my way of teaching this is to position your business as that go-to expert. So what are you an expert at? Create an expert brand foundation for your business. You're going, wait, I don't consider myself an expert. Everybody is an expert at something. You've been doing what you're doing in your business for so long that you don't even really you probably take it for granted that how much knowledge you have. And that's the thing, is when you're educating people to the knowledge you have, education sells, because you position yourself as an expert in what you do. No one can replace that with going online and buying something. They need to come to you because you're going to be that positioned as that go-to expert. So that's what I want you to be thinking about as I'm going through this process, is how can I really position myself more than being a generalist, everything to everybody, or having too many things. You can have multiple things, but what are you truly that expert at? So here's the thing, is that is your marketing positioning costing you in lost income right now? And I see it often in the industry is that you're trying to be everything to everybody. I want to make a sale. The goal is tomorrow, I want to make a sale. How much money did I make? Everything is focused on that versus let me really take the time to position myself better so I get those high value, loyal customers, because you may end up getting to the point where you get less customers coming into your business, but they're such high value people that they're loyal and they keep coming back, and it actually can create income in your business versus your business going down. So I know that's the way retailers and always think, or even salespeople is want the next sale, want the next sale, instead of thinking, how can I position my marketing to be the best of the best where people will always come to me because that's what I'm positioned as. So, where do you think your marketing needs improvement? I want you to write that down right now. I want you to just, whatever comes to your head at first, what is the area their marketing needs the most improvement? Is it the website? I'm not doing much social media. I'm still doing things old fashioned way. Where do you think that is? Because if you think you know what it is, you're probably spot on, but maybe you haven't done anything about it, because then you get back into day to day, and back into the store. I know there's never enough hours in the day, but taking the time to do this, you're going to have some downtime in your business. If it's downtime now, which summer is usually maybe a little slower for some of you, then work on the marketing, because it's going to pay off more in the other end, because you can't keep being on the hamster wheel doing the same thing every day, waiting for customers to come in, waiting for people to contact you, and then do the same thing and expect different results. We have to change what we're doing. So it's a new time to shift to a different way of thinking about marketing. That's my goal for you today is I want you to think about a different way of doing your marketing, what I call expert positioning. And I've been doing this for so long. It actually started out in a weird way. It started out with by me teaching how to promote yourself, how to be a shameless self-promoter. And I wrote a book on that, which many years ago, which became a bestseller, but it's still marketing yourself. And so now I've just taken it to another level where I'm now the world's number one authority on expert positioning. And people come to me like, okay, how can you take my marketing and position me as an expert in whatever it is you're doing? And I've had carpet cleaners, I've had all kinds of different people that work with me, and they just want to be the best of the best. And that's the best way to describe it to you. So let me break down the formula a little bit for you. So in expert positioning business model, it's just looking at your marketing differently and saying, okay, how am I positioned? How is my foundation positioned? And I'll go through that when I go through unique selling propositions and things like that. But positioning, and it may be just a tweak in your marketing where you need to go back and even tweak the banner, the homepage of your website that really showcases this is what we are experts at. And you have to let people know that, again, otherwise you're playing in the generalist game. And when you play in the general game, you're at the bottom. It's like, think about it like a pyramid, right? The bottom part of a pyramid is really wide. And so a generalist is here, and there's a lot of competition here. So we want to move up that pyramid as we get our expertise showcased, and we get to the top where we're known as the number one expert in what we do. So that starts with the foundation, going back to the foundation of your marketing, how you're positioning yourself. Okay. And it might just be a few words. It might be just a few tweaks from your website. Now we want to think about targeting the top 20%. I want you to write down who is your most ideal target market. If you could only take the top 20% of your target market, describe that person. What age are they? What type of things do they want to invest in? What do they want to be educated about? Why? How could we get them to invest in a new outfit this year when they're going to a horse show, which they didn't think they needed, right? Because, it's positioning maybe them as how they show up. And so we want to really focus all of our marketing efforts online for that ideal target market, which is your top 20%. Because if we've got the top 20%, that's where the biggest income is coming from in your business. And then we want to think about strategic marketing. So when we get into strategic marketing, at the end of this, what I'd love to be thinking about is I'm strategically going back to my website and looking at every single page. And I'm going to see where I'm positioned correctly, where I'm losing. There's probably some buttons, even plugins and things that aren't working on your website. That you need to look at. A lot of times you build it and you forget about it. And that's right now everybody's going online. So we want to be the best. So strategically, maybe I need to improve social media. Maybe I need to start doing video, whatever that strategy is. And just like a business plan, you have a business marketing strategy. And so you look at, oh, these are things I need to do to move my business forward. Okay. Another piece of this then goes into video marketing. And I'd like to know if you put in the chat box, put yes, I'm doing video marketing. Yes, I'm doing video marketing in the chat box if you're doing it, because I want to know how many of you are actually doing any kind of video where you're putting that out on social media, putting it on YouTube, using it on your website. Because really, when you think about websites, all they are is there's text and there's images, and that's kind of flat, right? So how do we jazz it up? Even a website you have now, you can add some more video to it and really like even explaining on your homepage what you're an expert at. Even though some of the text is there and you're saying the same thing in a video, people love video now. Short 2-minute videos are the most effective. And then start increasing your sales income just from the way you're positioned. And it may be, what is your goal? Do you want to increase more online sales? Do you want to increase more, getting more people into your store by following up with them more, the way you positioned yourself, whatever that goal is for you. So when you think about your expert brand, it's really your overall business reputation. And some of you have been in business for many, many years. I know you stay in business a long time and you're doing well and you have that business reputation. So you think, oh, I can't change this. I can't change a logo. I can't change something on my website. People expect change. You've noticed even the biggest corporations are changing things around them and creating that upscale marketing. So the overall image of your business reputation is your brand, and along with the experience and the results that you deliver. So it's not just like a logo, it's the overall image, business reputation, along with the results that you deliver. So why don't you be thinking about that when you're positioning yourself? So, okay, I'm going to start asking you some questions again. So start writing some more things down. You can write it in the chat box. You can make yourself notes. But one of the things I would love to hear most when we get into the Q&As, what is your company most uniqueness? What is the thing that you're stand out for? That's how you really can find out what you're an expert at. What is your company's uniqueness? It's finding apparel for barrel racing or whatever that is, that you're known for this and people come to you. That's the most critical thing when you're doing the positioning. What are you an expert at? And so, I think anybody can be an expert in just about anything. And I've seen this, when you start thinking about the way I'm thinking, like expert positioning marketing, I'm thinking every business, no matter what they are, can do this. And a great example of this is probably one of the most extreme. When I was speaking in New Zealand, I realized one thing very quickly: there's a lot of sheep here. And so could you imagine being a sheep in New Zealand going, hey, how do I stand out? Right? I mean, there's so many other sheep. How do I stand out? And I'm looking, it's my first time in New Zealand. I've been there and spoke all over New Zealand, and I had that incredible experience. But the first time I go, of course, I'm playing tourist and I'm looking at all these brochures. And one that I pick up is called Sheep World. And I'm like, oh, okay, that looks great. But why would I go to Sheep World? Because I can see sheep like anywhere, right? And so I'm looking at their brochure because I'm always interested in how people market themselves. And it says, we are the only place in New Zealand where we have pink sheep. I'm like, pink sheep? You got to be kidding me. Because I'm like, why would people go to there? I'm going there now. I have got to see these pink sheep and I've got to hear the story about the pink sheep. So I paid the money and I drove there to outside of Auckland, about an hour outside of Auckland, just to see pink sheep. Like, how did this even happen? So what happened was that when the owner of it was actually a sheep farm, you could go there and you could pet baby sheeps and see them shearing and all that kind of thing, right? But they go, we got to stand out. We got to make something different to get people here. But they weren't thinking like that. It happened by accident. So when the owner was on vacation, the employees were actually spray painting the sheep. I don't know how this happened. I don't know. I'm sure you'd have some weird thing, that conversation. Hey, let's spray paint the sheep today, right? Well, they found out that that pink paint was staying longer on the sheep. And so they were putting the spray paint on the sheep and they put them out to the paddock. And when people would drive by, they were like, oh my gosh, what? Pink sheep, right? And then they pull in and they're noticing this. And so, the employer comes back from vacation, what's going on? And he says, well, you can't believe our business is up 30% because people are coming because we put them in the paddock. We were just like doing this like kind of a joke, kind of a thing. And it became their marketing strategy, what they were an expert at. And I thought that was absolutely brilliant, and a great way to describe, picking a lane, because you got to pick a lane. It got to be something that's different. What is that thing that you have that people say, I'm going to go there? So I guess the way to describe it would be, what is your pink sheep, right? What is your pink sheep that would get people to say, I have got to go there. I've got to experience, working with them, going to their store, whatever that is. Okay. And then number two, how to gain those high value, loyal customers. And so you want a value driven marketing message that really moves the top tier clients to you. Again, I'm going back to that question, who is your most ideal target market? And shift to working with that top 20%. So what I would like to challenge you with is to go back and look at every single word on your website, your marketing. And then think about what kind of marketing strategy you're going to have going forward, what you're going to post on social media. Most are like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't have time. I know it takes extra time and you work a lot. There's not a lot of hours. But again, if we don't do this, we're not up to speed with our marketing and we're not really positioning ourselves. It will pay off in the long run. And once you get into a strategy with your marketing, it just becomes part of your business and how you do it, just like you do everything else. But when you get really clear about first who your target market is and that ideal market and what they think, what they know, what they want, how their age, everything, you're thinking exactly like them. And then you go back to your website and you look at every word. Am I speaking directly to that target market, or am I just talking about myself and my business? Your homepage should be about the entry level. So somebody's just now going there. What are you all about? What are you an expert about? And it's about your company and what you offer your ideal client, not about you yet, right? It is about you, but it's really more focused on one person. When you think about a website and somebody browsing online, it's one person looking at a website. And if you, even yourself, looking at websites, what are you looking at? If you scroll down, you might scan, read, oh, there's a video, click on the video, right? And that's the way we do business now, because that's the way people look at websites. Okay, so now I want you to think about your unique selling proposition. Probably many of you, even been in business a long time, don't have a unique selling proposition, a statement, a brand statement that really defines who you are. And what that means, USP, unique selling position, I call it. Unique means what sets you apart. Again, that's that expertise. What's that special thing that you specialize in? Even though you have other things, what is that number one thing? Tell me that right there on the homepage, top 1/3 of your homepage. That we call the fold, the top 1/3 fold. That is what's going to capture people. And again, if you don't have good navigation or don't have clarity in your marketing, they're going to click and go away. And then sell is the S. What are the benefits, the promise, and the delivery that you offer? Sell, benefits, promise, and delivery. And then number three, what we're talking about with the marketing is position. How do you dominate as an expert in what you do? Okay, what is your pink sheep? If you can't remember anything else, you'll remember that, right? Okay, so now let's talk about upscaling your online market. How do we start making more money online? So whether you are actually selling online or just selling a few things online, the online presence you have is what sets you apart, that gets people to come in your store or do business with you or call you or email you, however it is. It's how you are positioned. People judge you by that. So to move ahead of your competition, you've got to upscale your online marketing. And so upscaling your marketing is really key, because even though you might have ideal customers, even though you've been in business a long time, how long has it been since you really looked at your website and redid it? Last summer, I redid my entire website. And I can't tell you, debbieallen.com is my website. That has been up since 1997. Imagine the reinventions I've been through in the process, right? So one of my clients who is, he's like the number one person in the world for hotel. He's called the hotel financial coach. He hired me many years ago. And when he was the hotel coach, I'm like, well, what does that mean, hotel coach? Well, I help their finances. I go in and I can save them, anywhere from $20,000 to $25,000 from my consultation by showing them areas that they could cut expenses. I'm like, he's got it dialed in, right? I'm like, well, that's hotel financial coach. So he's like, help them with financial. It's almost like a no-brainer working with you, right? Because of the results that you deliver. So, way back when I worked on his brand and built his website and got him out there coaching, and now he's blown his business up and he is the world's number one doing this all over. Very, very busy. And I said, David, every time I look at your website, and I'll give you his website, you can go look at it now, the after part, hotelfinancialcoach.com, right? Very easy. Make a great, easy, keyword rich domain. I said, your website's so dated, I can't even look at it anymore. It's like, because you've blown your business up, and he's working with all the high level Four Seasons and, all these amazing hotels. I said, please let me help you. And let's get this upscaled. He's like, well, I'm about as busy as I need to be. I said, you might be as busy as you need to be. But if, when companies are going through periods, or you're going through one company, maybe it works great. Another person's judging your website and your expertise just based on how your website looks now. You don't know if they're going away. And it could be, you don't need more clients. You just need more upscale clients raising your fees. And you need to position yourself now, even at a luxury level. So when you go to hotelfinancialcoach.com, you'll see his website's really clean. Before this, it was like he had way too many links and he had way too much crap all over his website. And some of the things didn't work. And there was like, oh, I don't even offer that program anymore. I'm like, oh my gosh, it took us 3 months to like redo everything because we had to clean it up. And that's what we want. We want something that's easy to navigate. And you'll see when you go to David's site, it's really easy to navigate, very similar to what mine is, where it's just has banners and gets people to where they want to go, especially if you have multiple viewers that are going to your website looking for very specific things. We don't have as much patience, so we want to have less text, more video, easy navigation. That's the whole concept of it. Okay, so one of the other ways you can gain more followers, of course, is to have some kind of opt-in. So once you get people to your site, they stay on your site because now you've improved it. How are we going to stay in touch with them? So many of you will have a newsletter, sign up for my newsletter. Well, I don't think you probably want to sign up for another newsletter, right? We don't need any more emails, right? When we started out many years ago, we had, what was that, AOL? You've got mail? Now we're like, ugh, I've got mail. Right? I don't want this much mail, so much spam. But we want to have that ideal customer to get contact, be in contact with us all the time. So they're not going to sign up for a newsletter. What could you offer them to entice them? It could be a discount coupon. It could be a guidebook to something that you teach, that you educate your customers on. So for example, for David's, I'm going to go back to him for an example again. So he has a guidebook, which is maybe 10, 15 pages. That is a Word doc turned into a PDF. That's it, right? But now there's an image of this book, this guide, something they can get that's an image there, and then click. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give you my email address because here's something that's valuable. So he has one that's like 7 secrets to growing a high profit hotel fast, something like that. So again, whether it's a video, whether it is a guidebook, whether it is a coupon, whether it is something, gets people to sign up. Okay, that's the golden list. We need to keep building our golden list, because once we build the golden list, now we've got more people that we can stay in touch with, and then we can do what we call a marketing funnel. Okay, so there's one step is creating the opt-in, which is the free offer, right? So now we're capturing the email, the golden list. Now we don't want to just capture the golden list and then you can still send out a newsletter, and that's totally fine. We're just not getting people to sign up with a newsletter. You have to give more. And so then we now can create emails that go out to those new prospects. So I just say, I've signed up for your website and like, hey, this is cool. I like what you're doing, but maybe I don't need your services today, but I want to just, I'm going to sign up for what you have. Right. So then now they're getting maybe 7 emails from you. And they're getting maybe once a week, spread them out. So those are what we call autoresponders. So the guidebook or the free offer, whatever the free offer is, leads to an email marketing campaign. So once you've written that, it's on autoresponders. So you should all have an email management account where you can set up these email autoresponders. So once the emails are written, they go in there. And once somebody's signed up, then like say once a week or however long you want that to be, usually say 5 to 7 to get people's attention, and again, you don't want it too much too fast, because then they're going, oh my gosh, now I'm inundated with emails from they've signed up and they're going to opt out. So you want to make sure that it's valuable and good stuff. And then once it's done, it's automated. See, it's going to take you some time to set up some changes, but once you set it up, you've got this automated marketing funnel that's working for you. That's really a critical piece to keep people knowing about you on a regular basis. Okay, so now number 4 is how do we use video and our websites and social media to keep getting these followers to keep coming back to us? Okay, so video marketing doesn't have to be overwhelming. It can be, again, 2-minute videos. And we know on social media, especially with TikTok and Instagram and everything, it's like we're paying attention to videos. And some of these are really short and to the point. So some could be 30 seconds. They could be something like that. Even TikTok, where people would say, like, oh, that's for kids and whatever, that's growing tremendously. People that are looking for certain things, then they will get an automatic emails for, if they're following things on horses, then they're going to start seeing everything on horses. Like I'll follow like silly cat videos and silly dog videos and stuff. And like, then I start getting a ton of those, right? So the algorithms start working for you on your behalf. Some of you can even be selling products, even on the TikTok shop, which is now growing really fast because we think about it all the way back to like QVC, Home Shopping Network, all those videos were like just get you so excited. It's emotional based selling that gets people like to click. I can't even tell you how much I bought watching videos. So I can go to Amazon when I want to buy something directly, but if I watch a video that tells me something, then I'm going to buy it. So maybe you're doing this on your own site, like the key things that you're selling, you have videos for those. And again, we're showcasing some of these videos on social media. And so I highly recommend you do that. And again, it takes time to feel comfortable with that. But again, what I would tell you about this, it doesn't have to be perfect. And if you're too perfect on social media, it doesn't work anyway. People want you to see you kind of mess up and be a little rough around the edges and authentic and real. And you're at a horse show and you're showing barrel racing and new outfits and a pageant thing or whatever it is, right? People want to see what's happening, the excitement of your business. That's how they're going to follow you. And that's how you will use social media. So the thing about social media, you must post consistently. Now, that does not mean you need to be on every platform. Pick 2 or 3 platforms. That's it. Of course, you're always going to have YouTube because all your videos that you do are going to be loaded on YouTube. And I'm going to show you what to do with those so that they actually get noticed and get you some search engine optimization. But I basically have been with, of course, every social media network, and now I'm down to a few. I don't do Instagram. But if you're doing something very visual, then I would highly suggest do Instagram. I was hacked a few times and I just got frustrated and I stopped doing Instagram. I'm still an old school Facebook girl. The reason I like that is because I like groups. So that's another thing you might want to consider in Facebook. They don't charge to start groups, but you may start a group for your followers that you can have conversations about what's going on with them, and create a really powerful group. So my groups are always very effective on Facebook. One thing I like about that. And again, video, short video there. So you've got YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. If you're doing a lot of visual, that would be very good for you, especially for retail. Instagram is a good one. And it takes a learning curve, I know. And again, you might have somebody that just does that and loves doing that part of your business. TikTok's a new version. It's a harder thing to figure out. It's again, a different type of marketing altogether. And then X is another thing. So I wouldn't really consider that. LinkedIn is good for business. And so if you're going business to business, that's a really good platform for that. But find out, just even a couple that you're going to be doing and just stay consistent with them versus trying to like, oh, I have so much and it seems so overwhelming. How can we take the overwhelm out of even social media posting or doing video? Would be have a business marketing strategy and say, I need to shoot this many videos today, or I need, this month, and maybe you shoot them all and you binge them and then you put them all in one thing and then set them out, schedule them to go out. So you're not thinking about it. Again, automating that. So it's not like, oh, I got to do a video now. Oh, I got to post something now. Then it's not consistent and you're not going to see the return. So why waste the time if you don't have a marketing strategy around it? Find a way to create a marketing strategy that's consistent with social media. It's going to be more effective and again, very easy because now you've got a plan together versus like randomly, oh yeah, I got to shoot a video. Okay, so what else would we do with video if we had a lot of video? So some of you may have a lot of video already and you posted it on YouTube. And that's great because it's sitting there. You got them. So I'm going to show you how to make more money with those YouTube videos that you post on video. So let's say you've got a couple dozen videos on your YouTube and you just stuck them on there. Maybe they've got a title, maybe they don't. But here's the thing about YouTube, you can actually create like your own TV show. So I don't spend a lot of time on YouTube, but every time I'm doing a video, it's going to go there pretty much. So there's a collection. You want to create categories, like there's testimonial videos that you should be getting from customers having their experience working with you. So there'd be testimonial videos, there could be educational videos, there could be new product videos, and then categorize those. All right. So now as your YouTube channel is filling up, you can actually get a keyword rich domain. So it's easy for you to remember that. So say you were out somewhere and you wanted somebody to go to your YouTube channel, watch some videos that you had on barrel racing or a show you did or something like that, or new products that were coming in your store, whatever that is. And you wanted to send somebody there, you'd have to send them to your website and go to my website, click on my YouTube channel. Now, how about if you had something like debbieallen.tv? So the .tv costs a little bit more for the domain. It's about a $30 domain versus $10 domain, but you could remember it easy. If it was the name of your business or the Western channel, like the podcast, even, that you have for the association, it's like, okay, you would know where to send people to that page. So that's why I make it easy. If I'm just in a conversation, you can go to debbieallen.tv and you'll see dozens of videos, testimonials, education videos, all of that. All right. So I look at that kind of like my own little TV show. And I'm going to tell you an example again of one of my other clients that I had who was in real estate. So his name is Bob Loeffler, and he has a business called Fearless Agent. His whole business is around training new real estate agents. And so the majority of his income came from membership, and that came mostly from video. So he would do webinars, and then he would do all kinds of little training videos that he would teach real estate agents. And they were all posted on his YouTube channel. So when I gave him this one strategy, he told me it took his business, he increased his income by $1 million by this one strategy I'm going to tell you. Now, those are Bob's quotes, not mine. Okay. Because he already had a huge membership. And all I told him to do was go back and title the videos so that he got search engine optimization. So now when you're putting anything about, real estate agents, new agents, real estate training, he started coming up higher in the search engine, higher in the search engines. So people are going to a short video going, hey, that's cool. Now they're going to his website and now they're signing up. And that's how that marketing loop or marketing funnel works. So I wanted to show you this today with visually, because something happened with our slides last minute. We didn't download them, but sorry, I couldn't show you visually. So I want you to take out a piece of paper so you can draw it out yourself as I walk you through this. Okay, so on a YouTube channel, let's for example, I put in, I'm just looking at this one video. I think it was called Business Strategies for Entrepreneurs. Let's just say that's the title. Okay. I'm going to write this down so I can break it down for you. Business Strategies for Entrepreneurs. Okay. So here's the thing. Take notes on this. First step, pick a title. Okay. Title. And your title needs to be 5 words or less. And the reason for that is that, Google owns YouTube. So the number one search engine in the world is Google. The number 2 search engine in the world is YouTube. So we want to play the game, and we don't want to have to be buying, expensive ads. So the goal here is using keyword rich words that get you search engine optimization without having to buy advertisement. And getting more, imagine that you've got dozens of videos and now they're getting what people are looking for in a Google search. So let's just say business strategies for entrepreneurs. Okay, that would be a good search. Okay, I go, that would be something I'd look and go, people are really searching for that term. It's highly searched, so I can check that out first. I pick that as my title. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 words there, so that's easy. Okay, so once I post the video, so you go to YouTube, you upload the video onto YouTube. All right. And then there's a place there that you can put the title in. And so the title of the video is going to be Business Strategies for Entrepreneurs. Okay. Then underneath that, there is your description bar. on the description bar, you're going to take those exact same words and you're going to put those on the top of your description bar. So I'm going to put business strategies for entrepreneurs, top of that description bar. And then underneath that, I can write whatever I want and then send them over to the website, right? Explain a little bit more description, put them over to the website. Now, here's the other key thing. Scroll down as you've loaded up the video, and there's a place called tabs. All right. And tabs is where we're going to put your keywords. So we're taking those same keywords. We're not changing it. And this is why it works, because we're playing the keyword game with YouTube, which also plays that game with Google. So we're putting in the tabs those same 4 words, business strategies for entrepreneurs. And then when you push comma, it'll go to the next thing to add another tab. And I want to break that down. I want to use the same word. So maybe I'll use business strategies, entrepreneurs, comma, business strategies, comma, entrepreneurs, comma, business, comma, strategies, comma. I want to take all those main words and just repeat them. So I haven't used I haven't put the name of my business, nothing else. All I'm doing is playing with the keywords. So we're using that in the title of your video. We're using that in the description box right underneath the video. And when you scroll down, you'll see the tabs, and we'll put that in the tabs. And that is all. And once you start doing that, if you've got videos now, go in and do that. You got to have it fit for whatever the video is about, but also something that's searchable that people would find. And then there's the information. That alone, once you get it going, it's like takes you like a minute or two to do that. So all those videos are now categorized, and all of those videos are keyword rich, and they're automatically going to start getting you more social media, or excuse me, more search engine optimization, because Google loves video because they own YouTube. And again, you're playing the keywords of 5 words or less, so that it doesn't cut out on the description of when the Google posts it. Plus, very quickly, you'll start seeing the return on that. Start seeing it. I've seen some would show up as fast as 24 hours. Once they're posted and they've got the keywords listed there. So, any questions you have about that, please ask me. I know that I'm not showing you the actual visual of it and breaking it down for you, but pretty simplistic when you look at it. And I hired an internet marketing strategist many years ago. It's a very expensive consultant, and paid him thousands of dollars. And I will tell you that one thing there that I just shared with you was the easiest, because if it's not easy, I'm not tech savvy. I love marketing, but I'm not tech savvy. And I'm not telling you how to learn a lot of stuff. And that's when it works for me. When it's something like, okay, I get it. That makes sense. And I could do this over and over again. And it's not going to take a lot of time. And I'm going to see results. Because why would you change anything with your marketing if you're not seeing the results? Now, and the reason that we're talking about video and talking about social media and positioning yourself as an expert is because when you educate, consumers automatically assume authority, right? So the more you have videos out there, the more you've looked like, okay, and now I see what's going on, they're going to start paying attention because you're educating them. And then you've now positioned yourself again as that go-to expert. Some of you have been in the business a really long time where you're going, hey, I might be like Debbie. Maybe I'll open up multiple stores, or I've been in this business a while and now I want to be a consultant. And I think that's really what a lot of us do, is we spend many, many years in an industry and learn something and deep dive into what we know. And then on the other side of that, we might not want to do it day to day anymore, and we want to teach other people. And so that's what I did. And my 15 years of retail was I wanted to be on the other side of that and teach people to be successful, because I was very lucky to have incredible mentors. When I first started my retail business, I got into a group called Fashion Alliance in Chicago, and they all had 15 to 30 years experience in the retail business. So I joined that group. And I got invited in this group, which was really an honor, really, especially when I didn't know much of anything back then. And I did everything they told me. And that's how I blew my business up from a mere 100,000 my first year when I started to multiple $1 million business. And again, when I got to the point where I wanted to sell those businesses, I did. And then my next chapter was, let me take my same knowledge I have and now position myself as an expert. And so some of you are in that position where you're saying, I have a bunch of knowledge and I'd like to create a side hustle with that, and maybe even create a business as a consultant. And again, I didn't even know that was my model when I was following it. It was my heart. It was my passion to want to share and help people be successful that got me fell into this business of wanting to just, share my knowledge that I had learned through marketing and through the business. So some of you that want to go deeper into that expert positioning, or create something that you want to sell online, through the knowledge base that you have. It's called monetizing your expertise, basically. The knowledge you already have, how can we monetize that? So I got a free gift for you. It's a $200 value. I'm going to give you a copy of my book, Expert Positioning, and I give you a copy of my business guide, my action guide. So there is a multiple page action guide that teaches you how to position yourself more as that expert. And then there's a business plan of what other income streams that you can create. And that's all part of the guide. You'll download all of that. And there's a video to walk you through it and walks you through that pyramid that explains it in much more detail about going from a generalist to becoming that expert. So it's a quick 30-minute video that you can watch on that page too. And then you'll click over the next page, and then it'll get you to my book page, and you'll get my book for free as well. So all that's available to you at expertpositioningsuccess.com. And if Glenn can put that in the chat box, then you guys can remember that to go grab your free gifts today. So love to be able to share that with you. And so, basically it's, if I had to summarize everything that I've been sharing with you in 45 minutes here, is look at your marketing, look at everything you're doing, and walk away from the day-to-day in the trenches, because I know what that's like, right? Walk away from that and just take a day where put your marketing hat on and think like your customer for the day. And how can I improve every area of my marketing? And then start creating a strategy around improving that and positioning yourself in what you're absolute best at. Okay, so that's really the portion I wanted to give you there, and I really wanted to open it up to Q&A to answer anything you might have, because I've covered a lot, and giving you some technical stuff without being able to show you slides today. And I don't know if there's a way, Glenn, that we can share slides with them so they have a copy of that. Anybody that's come on and registered, that
Actually,
they
if
can,
we get that to Sophia, she can post those in the Facebook group.
she does, yeah, she has a copy, so that'd be
Okay,
awesome.
that'd be
Yeah,
great. And I
copy
know
of
she's
slides.
watching right now. So, and Sophia just posted expertpositioningsuccess.com in the comments. Now, I did have a question here. Actually, I had about 10 questions written down. You answered all of them. So good for you. Good job. But there was one here. What is your favorite social media management app? One place to manage all of them. Now, there used to be some good ones, and then things kind of changed. And do you have one that's effective now?
I don't have one that I use, to be honest with you, because I have an assistant that I got out of the Philippines, and I pay him $5 an hour. So you want to know how to get that. If you want an assistant to do some of this work online, reach out to me, guys. I will tell you that. And I hired a company who actually, so I'm going another direction with this, but I'm telling you, I know how busy you guys are. You're not going to do this stuff. But and those change so much that I don't have an answer to your question, I guess.
Yeah, and
I'm not using one, but any of you that need assistance to say post social media or do these other things for me, if that's the way you want to do it, go ahead and do that, or just check online and Google and see what the latest one is.
there's also in the retail world, in the horse world, there's some very successful retailers that don't have online stores, and all of this still applies, right?
Most
w-
definitely.
yeah, and one of the things mistakes I've seen a lot of horse businesses make, not just retailers, but a lot of horse businesses in general, is they have good social media. They might have a good Facebook page and things like. They don't have a website. The
Oh,
only thing you own in this world is your website.
yeah,
You,
that's like your business.
yeah, and we all have seen people that got their Facebook taken away, their Instagram taken
Oh,
down for
yeah,
whatever stupid reason, and then they have nothing, right? They have no recourse. Everything should, all your social media should always be driving to your website. That's the goal.
right. I
Am I
look at it
wrong?
like gravy on top of the mashed potatoes and meat. It's like that's just gravy. And yeah, you don't have it. It can change, and we've seen this with threats of banning different social media sites. No, you have to drive them to your website. That's the everything. You can't just have a LinkedIn profile or whatever. You have to have a website. It doesn't have to be start out as really extensive, but the website's going to have the social media links. It's going to position you what you're all about. I mean, it's just a critical piece. Like, start with a landing page and start building on it. You just have to have that.
And all those videos you do should all be embedded on your website along with that SEO that you talk about, right?
No,
So
not necessarily, Glenn, because,
no,
you'll then your website will be really heavy and it'll be take too long to download with
okay,
them being embedded. The reason we use YouTube, another reason is if you have a webmaster that's adding video to your website, they need to grab from YouTube so they're not having to download it
right.
once the website opens.
That's what I meant. Embed from
Yeah.
YouTube. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So you'll have the YouTube link there. So the ones I want, if you looked at a website for, let's say, a retail store, okay, I would like to see a video, a 2-minute video on your homepage that talks about what you're an expert at, how long you've been in business, who your typical customer is. Tell them about your business, really enthusiastic video, 2 minutes. Just be real, just be yourself. Don't make it so perfect because we're so used to not seeing perfect these days. Nice professional lighting, so they can see you, whatever, and sounds good. But you don't have to spend a fortune going into a studio and getting perfect video. But it wants, quality lighting and sound. So one on your homepage, maybe one on your about page that tells your story. Your about page is like, I love to hear stories about businesses. How did you start your business and how did you develop it? And, how you got into it, why you're passionate about it. Another could be on a product page. So maybe at least, 3 or 4 videos that are throughout the website on different areas.
very good. Well, we're plain running out of time. Give your website again.
My website, debbieallen.com. And the other one I mentioned was Hotel Financial Coach. You can go look at David's site, just see how clean, because the clean is really the upscale for website marketing now. It's really that how do we keep that that look, not too much stuff because it gets too cluttered and the navigation gets really weird. It's just really clean, easy navigation when you go back and you start looking at your site. Look at those for a couple examples and go back and just reword everything if you need to.
Very good. And of course, if you missed any part of today, you can find it. I'll be putting it on the WESA podcast at Wisdom by WESA on your podcast player. It'll also be over on the WESAtradeshow.com. It's on their YouTube channel, just what Debbie was talking about. So it'll be over there as well, and also on the Facebook page. So you can find all of those everywhere. And the next retail roundup will be July 29th with Brianna Brown. So be sure to sign up today to watch the live on the Retail Roundup Facebook group and at WESAtradeshow.com. Thank you, Debbie. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. I'm going to put my personal email in here. Those of
Okay.
you that want to even reach out to me and say, hey, you talked about getting a VA in the Philippines for $5 an hour. You talked about YouTube stuff. Can you just help me with that? I'm here to help you beyond this. So feel free. I put that in there. And then one last thing with everybody, what is going to be your call to action? So based on what you heard today about, standing out and being an expert, what you do, going back to your website, social media, if you could write in the chat box, I don't know how engaged your group is, or at least take notes for yourself. My goal today was to show up and have you have a call to action that gets you results. And you come back and you go, hey, I did that one thing, even that one thing or the couple things that Debbie mentioned today. And that brought me in, this much more in sales, made my marketing more consistent, whatever that is, improve my website. What is your call to action going to be for today? Because it's one thing if you took the time to be here with us, and I really appreciate that, and appreciate Sophia and the association so much for having me here. But if you don't implement the ideas, we're back to the same thing. And so I know again how busy you are. Is just take the time. Say on this date, I'm going to start looking at my website. I'm going to start focusing on the marketing, and I'm going to make a difference because I want to see you guys all here for many, many years to come. It's been many years since I've been seeing you even live at events. And I don't want this to become the Jurassic Park of our future. I want you guys to be really successful in this business for a very long time. And we need you, and we need people that are up to speed in what they're doing. And marketing is the key. You are brilliant at what you do when people come in your stores or work with you or your sales, but you want to just improve a little bit with your marketing, a little bit at a time, so that you're up to speed and you're here many years to come. When I come back, you're here and you're even more successful. That's my goal for you.
Thank you, Debbie.
My pleasure. Thanks so much, Glenn.